We did the global survey, obviously looked across all major mining jurisdictions, looked at both IFRS reporters and US GAAP reporters, and looked at all the commodities. Really things that stand out for me is we looked at what regulators are asking of preparers. We went and spoke to the preparers. Similarly, we asked stakeholders, what do you want to see in your financial statements? What will give you better insights into how the company perform? Really 5 focus areas: estimates and judgments, number 1, valuations, then some non-GAAP measures for our SEC registrants. The SEC gave some good guidance, so we looked at that. Some other reporting trends, obviously for clients looking. The auditors have now been given a task to really explain to the readers what are they doing in performing their audit procedures. And then lastly, looking at risks. Just to briefly touch on each one of those. When you looked at estimate and judgments, no surprises there. Impairment, really all 5 of the companies we surveyed, really some detailed disclosure on impairment. What was surprising is 21 of them actually recorded impairments in the financial period we looked at, but 4 had reversals. And that was quite surprising. Analyzing it a bit more, we actually saw that was relating to the currency in which these countries obviously operate. So their local currency obviously gave them additional profits, so they could reverse the impairments. Valuation, I think companies have done actually a fantastic job in actually explaining how they've come up with their valuation methods. Linked to their risks, so we looked at the risks, and that's very similar to risk surveys we've done. What I think has always been sort of the missing link is companies didn't necessarily take the risks in their MD&As and really pull it through to their financial numbers so it makes sense to the readers. And I think hats off to the preparers. I think in our survey it clearly came through that was an area of huge improvement. Similarly, on the non-GAAP measures, the SEC has been very strict and issued some rules for companies to adhere by. And again, our feeling there is that companies have really taken that to heart and really explained those non-GAAP measures, so the regulators will be happy, but on the other side the investors will really get some good value to understand what the true financial position of the company is without necessarily being misleading. Sort of finally, on the audit reports, we talked about impairment and all the estimates and judgments. Again, hats off to my fellow auditors. I think 4 of the companies we looked at already implemented that. That's something for the readers of the financial statements to look forward in this December year-end when it becomes effective in South Africa. But they've really taken the bull by the horns and I think explained very well how they've looked at these financial statements and how they issued their audit opinions. So very excited about that. So I'm very excited about the Indaba. I think this year there's a real buzz about the Indaba. If you think back 2-3 years, collaboration, big theme, still think it's going to be underpinned this year. Then sort of fit for purpose, a lot of discussion last year. But I think as things evolve, companies have realized that really they need to unleash the power of data. So I think there's going to be a lot of discussion around how can you do data. Very importantly, when we talk to CEOs, they previously just benchmarked themselves against their peer groups. But what they are doing now is they're looking across the world, looking at oil and gas companies, they're looking at utility companies, and really understanding what are they doing to unleash data and to get a better sense of understanding their business risk by using these better data analytic tools. And I think that's going to be a key theme. I don't think you can talk data without also talking about cyber risks. So I think those are new themes that's going to be there, and it's really important for companies to do that. If you think about 3D printing, how that can revolutionize logistics in a mining company. Similarly, just take an example, labor negotiations. If you can really do that real time and show the guys this is the impacts in your business. So I think that's the future. I think the traditional hardy annuals are going to be there. We're looking for direction from the minister around what's going on the mining charter. We'll obviously look with expectation around what BRICS is going to mean, US presidential election, what impact Donald Trump's going to have on the mining community and commodity prices. So I think exciting this year. I think there's opportunity. I think a lot of investors going there. Still think there's going to be consolidation, and I think there's going to be opportunities to do great things in transactions, and hopefully we'll see those coming through later in the year. I think looking at the M&A activities, I think we've turned the corner. I don't expect a super cycle in the next year, but I think commodity prices are going to steadily show an uptick, which obviously is good for the mining industries. I think they've had some very discipline in how they spend capital and their cost containment, so that all bodes them well to put them in a good position to take full advantage of an uptick in the commodity prices.